Frankenstein. This is a movie that I greatly enjoyed. I'm going to say that up front. It's ridiculous, but I loved it. I have a special love for movies that are kind of terrible, but still very entertaining. We're going to start with the trigger warnings. There are a few. There's a lot of relatively bloodless death. There are bodies everywhere. In the later part of the movie, you see a lot of corpses. You get some anatomical drawings that are a little bit gory. You also get a portion of the movie where the main character, Frankenstein's monster, whose name is Adam in this, is getting a wound sewn up by a scientist lady. And that wound is a little bit graphic. It's not the most horrific thing I've ever seen, but if you have a problem with, like, needles, and, like, stitching of skin, you might want to skip that scene. There's also a lot of dehumanization, a lot of calling Frankenstein's monster, calling Adam an it, both by the heroes and by the villains, so there is a lot of that. It could be disturbing or distressing for certain people that have had to deal with dehumanization issues. Things that I liked were the death effects. I liked that the gargoyles, for those who don't know, this is basically about Frankenstein's monster, who was given the name Adam, fighting demons with the help of gargoyles, who are these, like, celestial beings that, well, not celestial, but, like, divine beings that were tasked with fighting demons. So, Adam fights these demons with the help of the gargoyles. The gargoyle queen gave him the name Adam. I do like the death effects, how the demons descend to hell. It's like a big fiery, spirally thing, and it goes into the ground and kind of burns up the ground. It's kind of cool. And the gargoyles ascend into heaven, so they have this big beam of light, and it's all very divine and pretty, and when they get wounded, the gargoyles, like, emit light, which is kind of cool. I mean, it's a little ridiculous, but it's kind of cool. I liked how ridiculous the plot was. I mean, these demons are trying to reanimate the dead so that they can bring the souls of their descended demon brethren back, and, like, take over the world or something. I don't know. Basically, they just want to fight the gargoyles and kill them all, and then, I guess, implicitly take over the world. But it's ridiculous, but it's fun. And I also did really like the creature effects. They did a surprising number of practical effects. The creatures, for the most part, like the demons, had practical makeup. They had, like, prosthetics and stuff. Some of it looked a little ridiculous, but for the most part, like, I was really appreciative that they actually went there and bothered to make creatures instead of just CG the whole thing. That was kind of cool. Again, it was a little hit and miss, but I did like the designs, for the most part, of the demons. Now, what I didn't like is kind of a lot. I really, really disliked the Frankenstein's monster's makeup. Like, why does he have random scars everywhere? Why wouldn't Victor Frankenstein have stitched him together at normal places? Like, why is there stitching across his face? Like, that doesn't make sense. Did he put skin from random people over his face? Did he get, like, a skull that he particularly liked that he wanted to put skin over? I mean, it doesn't make sense. Like, you would expect him to be stitched together at, like, the elbow, or the wrist, or maybe the waist, you know? But there's stitches just everywhere, and it does not seem practical. The reanimation thing, there was this part where the corpses that were being reanimated had a percentage thing going on. Like, it said 6% reanimated. And that was kind of, like, needlessly, dramatic, I guess, would be the word. I also thought that the random death of two of the gargoyles was kind of weird. There was this one girl, like her lover, but they couldn't be together because the gargoyle order forbade it. So the guy that she liked was killed, and there was this girl that was like dying on the ground, and Adam was like, I'll do what I can, and she was like, no, let me ascend. I want to be with whatever his name was. Because it was forbidden by the order, but it won't be so in heaven. And that was just kind of weird because, like, you kind of got to know these characters, but then they just died. Like, I don't know. I guess it kind of served to give Adam motivation or something, but whatever. And the effects overall, like the CG effects, weren't that great, but I did enjoy the movie. I thought it was really fun. It's the kind of movie that you should watch with your friends. Like, get a big bucket of popcorn, maybe get some drinks, or caffeine. Caffeine is a good one, if you just want to get super hyped up and, like, watch fight scenes. And just have a good time. I mean, it's the kind of movie that you can't take too seriously. You just have to go along for the ride, and if you watch it with a bunch of other people, it's that much better because you can riff on it as it's going on. And you can, like, have reactions like, whoa, did that really just happen? Or, like, seriously, that just happened? Again, it's a really fun movie. It's kind of terrible, but it's really fun. I do recommend it, especially if you have, like, a party, like a bad movie night. Definitely give it a chance. It's on Netflix right now. Seriously, just have fun with it. It's weird, it's ridiculous, but it's fun. So that was my thoughts, and I will see you on the dark side of the moon.